Alright, I guess it's that time again to try to make something. What are we baking today, Natalie? Or trying to bake?
Garlic rolls and cinnamon rolls.
And we're going to use the recipe that we used on the pizza to try to modify it a little bit for cinnamon rolls and some kind of like garlic knots or garlic rolls. Alright, so 1 tablespoon. Since we're making 2 loaves, we got to use 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of yeast, 2 cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2.
No one's done anything all day. I didn't do anything.
So about 5 minutes, and you can see it's already like really fizzing up there, you know. So we need to add 2 teaspoons. So you can see this really fizzing up, you know, probably 5 minutes or so in. So that means the yeast is really working that sugar there. And now we need to add some olive oil. For 2 doughs, we are going to use 2 teaspoons or basically a tablespoon. All right, let's do this. Gonna have to clean that spoon in a minute. Mix it around, kind of incorporate the olive oil in here. All right, for each batch, each dough, it's 1 teaspoon, so 2 teaspoons of salt here. 4 cups of flour, 2 cups per dough, right? So I'm not even sure why I'm giving directions, because I don't know if this is going to turn out good or not. We're just experimenting here, but at least we'll have kind of a record of what we're using if it turns out good, or if we have to make adjustments later. And there we go. There's 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. Okay, we about need a bigger mixing bowl because here comes the yeast. Oh my gosh, we might have to have a bigger bowl. Problems you have. Oh, it smells doughy already, that yeast. All right, we had to go with a bigger bowl. By the time that's mixed, it'd probably make a mess, and then it's going to rise. So, let's scrape all this out of here. This bowl was fine when we made a single dough, but not for this guy. All right, time to stir it, and it doesn't take long. At least if the last one was any indicator, it was like 30 seconds of stirring. Of course, I'm going to knock the camera out here. Trying to do it on camera. It's already thickening up, kind of. Look at that, man. I'm already feeling a lot of resistance here just from that, 20 seconds or whatever stirring. Oh boy, I might need something a little bit harder, more stiff than this thing. All right, it's not quite a ball, but that's probably enough to just let it rise so we can put a towel over it. All right, so this is an instant dough, but it's always better to let it rise for up to 90 minutes. So we'll see you whenever we see you again. All right, I'm back, and now I have the lavalier mic, so hopefully everything's clear. And there's the dough. It kind of filled in the whole bowl. Doesn't really look like a ball anymore, even though it wasn't really a ball before. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of flour around it because it's very sticky. Just enough to hopefully pull it out here. Got to do this multiple times probably because it's a very, very sticky dough. To be able to work it here. Yeah. And I don't know, really don't want to get both of my hands in there because I got to kind of work the camera too here. Turn it off and on and Okay, let's go here and look and see what it looks like. There it is. I'm sure, let's see if I can cut it in half. All right, we're gonna just see if we can just take this and sort of figure it out here. All right, it cut pretty easily without even adding any flour to the knife. All right, so just roll that around this kind of doughed little area here, and I think the smaller one, slightly smaller, is going to be for our garlic rolls, garlic knots or whatever. So I'm going to put that back in the pan so it can proof a little bit longer. All right, back on the table. All right, so we got the iron flask again as our rolling pin, because we got two and we lost them. I lost them probably, maybe when we were doing the kitchen renovations, I don't know. So we're going to kind of roll it out and see how. We want it so we can roll it. How many times do you think we need to roll it around to be a cinnamon bun? 3? 5? Like 3 or 4 rolls maybe. So about a 1/4 inch thickness, Natalie says, and she thinks. She says we want it wide and long, so we're not doing like a narrow, long little piece of dough here. We're trying to figure out how to make it work for us here. And I helped her make some sort of cinnamon roll like 6 plus years ago. Don't remember how we did it. And that was was it your grandmother's recipe? And they didn't turn out the best for whatever reason, so my opinion, they didn't turn out the greatest. We got it pretty wide already. Okay, Natalie says it needs to be a little bit flatter than that, so let's put a little bit more flour on it and kind of, so we can make it a little bit more.
Not much playing.
Yeah, or we got a tear there. Okay, so we probably need to put a little bit more here. We got it really long. It has to be close to being the length, right? But we have a hole there. Probably doesn't matter too much though, does it? Because you're going to roll it several times, kind of wrap it. I don't like that though. It seems to be wanting to tear right there. You don't want to what? You don't want a hole in it?
You don't want it thin enough that you can't roll it from the side.
Okay, so we're going to roll it in the long way, you know, length when it's, or try to. A little bit more flour here. Well, can we smash that hole there and have it pinch it? It doesn't look like it wants to pinch together. So that's probably 22 inches long and maybe about 12 to 14 wide. So I guess we need to melt some butter to kind of coat it and then put a cinnamon and sugar mixture. You said no vanilla, right?
No vanilla, just cinnamon and sugar.
Yep, just cinnamon and sugar. All right, we've did some like really soft butter here. All over here just to hold the cinnamon and sugar, right? That's the purpose.
Yeah.
So, of course, it'll hopefully make it buttery tasting as well. I mean, a lot of people like to get their pastry and put some butter on it, right? All right. Try to be hard to get this out perfectly. Need a better way to sift through this. All right, let me see if we can like hit it here everywhere except on the edge. Now there's going to be, it looks like heels unless we find a way to spread it better, more evenly. Like places where there are a lot more sugar and cinnamon, it looks like, but She said don't go light-handed on it. You want a lot of this stuff. So there it is. We're gonna attempt to roll this. And it is sticky, I can tell. And despite it being sticky, oh, there's that hole there. Hopefully we can roll through it. I can definitely feel it would be easy to break it. We're making basically a log here. And now I have the camera kind of right in front of me. I gotta try not to focus my eyes on the camera. I need to focus it on what I'm doing here. Alright. Alright, we got this last little bit here. Oh, there we go. Alright, I did have to put a little light touch of flour on it to kind of roll it and to move it around. But now I guess we have to cut it. What do you like, inch, 2 inch? What do we do, Natalie?
Like inch and a half.
Inch and a half. We'll see what happens now. This is going to be scary. So we've got a buttered, round, somewhat round, kind of oval dish, but you know, whatever you got. Yeah. Now I've seen people do this, and they usually cut the ends off because they're imperfect, but we're just going to make maybe like a 2 inch end piece here. Let's just see what it looks like.
Do cinnamon sugar?
You don't see much in that. Hopefully we put enough in it. Let's just put that to the side first. Yeah, I put quite a bit of cinnamon and sugar in it. There we go. Now you can start to see the cinnamon and all. I guess I messed up and didn't put cinnamon and sugar with the butter. Okay, Natalie wanted, we greased the pan with butter, then we added cinnamon and brown sugar, and then she wanted to like dollop like soft butter around it too. Okay, here's the first one.
So when you cut your
Okay, so Natalie wanted to, after we greased the pan with butter or whatever, put cinnamon down there in the pan and brown sugar, and then dollop some soft butter on top of that. So here's our first one, and we're going to kind of tightly, I guess, put them together. Hopefully that's better. We'll see. See all that. Oh, it's kind of hard to control. Yep, it is perfectly imperfect. Well, I hope it's good. Whoa, there's the camera. All right, so we put a little bit of butter on top here. We had one here that doesn't have a lot of sugar, or two, the end pieces don't have a lot of sugar or cinnamon, so we might, so we're going to sprinkle, I think, a little bit of granulated sugar on top and then some cinnamon on top of that. All right, just kind of evenly coat it. I think I'm going to put a little bit more on these two pieces that didn't have much. And now for the cinnamon. I want to open the right side so I get sprinkles here. Woo, look at that. Hopefully that's good. And not too bitter. Actually, let's put some more sugar on top. Alright. Let's see how it does. We're going to put it in the oven at 350. So we got out the other dough. We're going to try to make some sort of garlic rolls with. I think we're going to get a small, what is this, a casserole dish, or what is it called? Corningware or something. Bowl. And we're going to, I think, put some olive oil at the bottom with some seasonings, and then we're going to put the garlic knots or rolls on top, and then drizzle a little olive oil on top, put a big lump of vegetarian or vegan butter, and then season the top as well. So some EVOO here. I don't know how much to put in there. Maybe that much. Alright, so I got some Italian seasoning here, and it does not have garlic in it, so we're going to have to add some garlic. And I think I'm going to add maybe a little bit more, just oregano here. Now some garlic powder. All right, back to the dough. And yeah, we'll probably have to flour it up again a little bit. I'm gonna have to find something to kind of, like a cup or something. Do you think maybe a kid's sippy cup would be like, have a smaller thing? Do you think that would be better? Or do we like a full size knot that we roll like from a regular coffee cup or something? Or you don't? Well, we're trying to get everything the same size before we start. Buddy.
It's like they're making a big pizza.
Yep, kind of like a pizza or a biscuit or whatever. We want to make sure I don't know. Again, this isn't a how-to video unless it turns out good. Then you can say it's a how-to video. It might not be that great. Maybe we need to add some salt to the mixture as well, because I'm sure there's salt in the butter. I know there is, but if it's not salty enough, it may not be that great. I don't know how thin should I do it? Because it doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're making a ball anyway. But we just want to make sure we have enough pieces. The thinner it is, I guess the more pieces we can sort of make. Am I getting the hang of this thing? I'm kind of letting it slide with my fingers here. Maybe I can make it with a hole on this iron flask here. Let's see. Well, that might be kind of small. Let's just, yeah, I know that's going to be too small. Maybe I have to roll that out now again. All right, I got a much bigger cup. And we're going to see if we can make a dough ball here, you know, basically a roll. That's a pretty big roll, maybe slightly bigger than I thought I was going to do, but I think that's probably about a perfect size. Number 2. Okay. Oop, I didn't quite cut it through there. Let's try again. Might be a little sticky on that part. Let's pull some of this dough off and maybe add just a little bit of flour to it here. So perfectly imperfect, right?
Are you not gonna put me in?
Last one here. I guess we got enough dough for maybe 8, but it looks like we can only get maybe 6 in here. I don't think they're going to squish in there. I'm going to put a little bit of salt on it. Not a whole lot. Now more garlic powder.
Daddy, I wish.
I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil on top here. Or a lot. I don't know how much that was. Probably a few tablespoons. And now I think we're going to put some more Italian seasoning. So everything gets a nice little cover here. And then, or more oregano leaves. You always got to have oregano, right? I love paprika when it comes to like a lot of meats and stuff, but when it comes to Italian food, oregano is like the best. Of course, garlic is pretty good too. Lastly, we're going to put like a couple big dollops of butter. So
Daddy, what looks
So when they do it at Leonardo's, I think I already said it, they put their seasonings in the butter and they probably freeze it or whatever. But let's just see, 350, and we're going to try it and see what happens. All right, here go the cinnamon rolls. All right, we've let these garlic rolls proof a little bit longer, maybe about 20 minutes, and we're getting ready to put them in the oven. We're going to put the garlic knots in, and I'm fixing to take the cinnamon rolls out.
so we can taste them? Daddy!
If I can get these right. Oh, look at there. Check that out. You can see the areas where, like right there, where there was a lot more sugar and butter and stuff. And some of them are a little lighter. Can't wait till they cool off and try. Right? So this come out easily in one piece, and this is the bottom. Look how moist that is. Oh my gosh, the caramelization of the brown sugar and cinnamon, especially in the middle there. Oh, I can't wait to try. But these garlic rolls, they rose to the top, and it may be a fail. So I put it on convection baking, so that it'll hopefully get an even heat in the bottom and all, because it was a little bit raw about 10 minutes ago when I tried to baste it a little bit. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take them out. They're browned on top, and let's just hope that they're done in the middle. They look pretty good, but well, I guess we'll have to dig in and see when they cool down just a little. So they turned out to be more of rolls, a little moist, a little dry. But they're definitely not Leonardo's, but you can see in some of areas they did get a lot of olive oil and stuff in them. But Leonardo's, they're almost like they're boiled or fried in that butter and olive oil, which these just rose so much that they kind of blocked anything from going down on the bottom. So they're kind of like a cross between a roll and a biscuit, but they're moist for the most part all the way through, just not as moist as the Leonardo's ones we were looking for. Perfect probably for some spaghetti, you know, just sob that spaghetti sauce into the roll. And one thing I'm thinking of is I've had a struggle to make biscuits that were moist and like this. And what if we cook biscuits in like a casserole dish like this and let them rise high and get super moist without adding like pork lard and stuff like that and milk? You know, be dairy free and it's still moist. I think we might be onto something. Natalie just put some Parmesan on hers, and now it tastes sort of like Pizza Hut breadsticks, right?
They're so good.
Check this out.
I like this,
They're
Daddy.
so moist. I mean, check that out. Let me taste them. Taste a bite right here. So is that a wrap? For the most part, yeah. I think I was kind of expecting failure because I've had bad luck with cinnamon rolls, and I've just, with the garlic knots, I was just like throwing mud at the ceiling and seeing if it sticked, and it wasn't what we were looking for, but it's something that was good and usable, and we can improve upon it. Now, so how can we improve on these cinnamon rolls? I think having a thicker layer of brown sugar before we roll them up is going to be key. Maybe adding a little bit more brown sugar to the bottom of the pan is going to be key, and then a light frosting on top, maybe right after they come out of the oven. We're thinking about doing like a bourbon vanilla glaze or something next time. And I think that's going to be it. I think, you know, we can be the next Cinnabon, huh?
Yes.
Natalie's not on camera because she's not had her hair done and she's not really dressed, and nobody else is on camera, so that's why you don't see anybody.
I think I know. This video is subscribe to my channel.